Hey Al, it's Victoria. Today I was going to be a story about how I came out to family and friends and everyone else in the world. It was the winter of 2019. I had been on hormones for a few months, and the only people that knew that I was on hormones at this point was me and my doctor. Everyone else was in the dark. Um, a little bit of a shameful time in some ways because I wasn't able to be open and stuff, but circumstances that led me to believe that I would forever be alone were the reasons that I did so. And I thought I was going to blow up my life. And then November of that year, my wife at the time found out. Now my ex-wife found out, and my life started to actually blow up as I had predicted. I came out, and the first people I told, obviously, other than my ex, she told her parents, and that didn't go well. And then it was like one after another kind of thing. I just assumed I was going to be losing every single one of these people. And yeah, so that was the beginning. And then my parents were in Florida, and I gave them a call, and I told them that my ex and I, at the time my wife, we were going to get divorced, and they were very unhappy. And then I told them I was trans, and then they were extremely unhappy. It was a couple of really bad times. My dad called me selfish for doing this. My mom told me I had already made my decision and that I had to live with that decision, and which is crazy, but anyways, and so it was another loss after loss after loss, and it was going to be a divorce, and her parents were going to forget about me, and all of that bad stuff. And then, so I was kind of like feeling like the thing that I assumed was going to happen was happening. So I didn't have anybody in my life, and I felt all alone. And I mean, I know this is a very common story in transgender people's life. But right before everyone found out, I was still hanging out with my guy friends, and one of my closest friends, Rish, he knew something was wrong, and finally I said, okay, we need to talk. So we meet at a restaurant, and took me an hour to get out the words "I am trans." Cried. This whole dramatic thing happened, and then he's like, "Well, cool. I don't care. I'll still be your friend. I love you. Whatever." And so it was a win, and I was like, "Oh my god, I got a win! I got somebody who is cool with me still and still wants to be my friend." And then he convinced me to tell two of my other close friends, and they were also cool. And so I started racking up some wins. Then we told the kids that we were getting divorced, my ex and I, and the kids didn't understand why because we'd never fought and all of these things. But eventually we told them why, because I was trans, and the kids were like, cool, what's for dinner? So they didn't really care. They just wanted to have their parent. I think the hardest part of the whole transition was actually us getting divorced, because I mean that's a much harder life for them in a lot of ways. And I mean, I know how kids are, it's all about how their life is and stuff, right? Um, but in the reality, I think it worked out really well. My ex has the kids most of the time, and I still have a great relationship with them. And hopefully in the future, it'll be even better. It's been a really big transformation. I went from knowing nobody in the LGBTQ community. I even stayed the fuck away from the gay village because I thought even in my car, someone could have picked me. so it was a very trying time in a lot of ways. And then I came out on Facebook. At the time, that tells you how old I am. And I came out on Facebook. I wrote this like really lengthy story, maybe not super lengthy, but long enough that I kind of explained myself and I told people what I was and my new name. And my old name was Victor, new name was Victoria, which felt really authentic to me because it's a continuation of my story. And my story, for me, it felt kind of like the right fit. I know a lot of people choose totally different names and they never dare tell people their dead name, but for me, it's kind of been like a continuation of a story. Interestingly enough, about that continuation of a story, um, I feel so incredibly disconnected from my old self these days. When I look at pictures, it's like I'm looking at somebody else, entirely somebody else. Like I remember there's some vague memories of like this person but the reality was that I don't connect with that at all. If anything, I feel like I disassociated for a very long time in a lot of ways. So, all of that being said, people on Facebook were really great at the time. I started finding community, people who didn't know me as Victor. They knew me only as Victoria. And that has been such a wonderful change for me. People only seeing me as this person that's standing in front of you. Um, Me and Madison, she over there. She's always, I always think how nice it is that she never had to meet him, and she only knows this version, um, and this very evolved, happy version of myself. So, um, my coming out story was, in a lot of ways, very similar to a lot of other trans people. Lots of losses, lots of heartache. I was working as an appraiser at the time, and of course, this is right when all the pandemic happened. So I got to work from home. It was really wonderful. I sold my house and I got to pay for my surgeries. Then I had bottom surgeries. So I really had like the COVID covered me and protected me while I was undergoing all of the surgery and all of the recoveries. And I had no FOMO, which was kind of cool because everyone else was kind of stuck in their houses as well. And it was the first time I lived alone. It was the first time I was alone and by myself for the first time in my life. And as much as it was a very lonely experience, it gave me a lot to be grateful for. And my transition has worked out so much better than I ever could have imagined. To have the wonderful friends I have, the relationship that I have, the relationship with my kids, and even the relationship with my parents isn't too bad these days. Um, but I think one of the things that has really propelled me in the last little while has been helping other people, helping people with their transitions, helping people with their fitness, helping trans women feminize their body and make it more aligned with how they see themselves on the inside and how they want the world to see them. So that has been my new and biggest passion, and I would love to help you if you are one of those people with your fitness journey or your transition journey, and let some of the pains that I had to go through, let me alleviate some of those for you. And I would love to be able to help in any way I possibly can. It has been the most fulfilling experience of my life, following my truth and being this person that I get to be. And this, I always thought that I was an extrovert before I transitioned. I was like, wow, you're so this much and this and this and this. And I was like, now that I've transitioned, I'm like 1,000 times more. And it has been such an amazing experience growing into myself and becoming this really happy version of my authentic self. And if I can help you do that too, I would love to. So reach out, click the link in my bio, and let me help you do yours.